Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a bench press day. And a quick reminder for those of you who like these videos, please remember to click like down below, engage, leave your comments, just engage my videos. So we went with a pen bench. I went with a number 7 pen. I think I did with the wider grip an 8 pen last time, looking at my notes. So I did a number 7 pen with a close grip, and on a pen bench we come to a complete stop on the pens and then we drive it back off. I got up to 315, which was the same training max I hit on a normal close grip the other day, and I'm going to mark this as a solid win. And the reason for it, pen benches like this are more difficult, so I feel like the assistance work is working. I'm regaining some of the strength I used to have, because if people recall, before I did my cutting way earlier last year, I got to a 365 close grip. That is the best bench I've ever hit on camera since being on YouTube. The best bench I've hit since my 20s, right? And I'm 46 now. So the goal is to get back to that this year. The goal is to eventually try to get to 405 this year. So I got to 365 last year. I was on a good roll. As I get leaner and can afford to lean bulk back up, I want to get back up to that 365 and then start PRing again. And I think that's a good way to go. It's a good way to go. And I think the goal is going to be 405 this year. And if I don't get it this year, I'll get it next year. But I know I can get back to that 365 again. So for assistance work, what I've decided to do, I'd said the last week I was going to do more 5s, and I did mostly 5s, but I know I get a lot out of 10s. I get a lot out of 10 plus reps. So I think what I'm going to do now that we're doing LME work 4 days a week instead of 2, I'm going to do heavier assistance work of the main lifts, right? And I'll do those in the 3 to 5 rep range, and then everything else, I'll take the reps up a little bit higher. Because that means today we did paused close grip for 5s, right? Did 3 sets of 5, tried to pause them all in. The last rep or 2, I really try to take a nice long pause on the 5th rep on each one, and then drive it up. So I did that, and then of course to save time, because I'm doing a lot of supersets with alternating muscle groups, I just did neutral grip pull-ups and knocked out 3 sets of 10. I think I only got like 9 on the last one though. It's getting pretty fatigued from the supersetting, and I kind of did this all the way through the workout. What I've been doing on my upper body days lately is doing a push and a pull, or a tricep and a bicep. Now I put more focus on the pressing muscles, so I always do them first in the rotation, but it lets us really cut down time. And it doesn't really significantly impact performance because, again, we're using opposing groups. They are important on these movements, but they're stabilizers. So if they're pumped a little bit, it's not really a big deal, right? They're just pumped a little bit. It can make them, in some cases, better stabilizers. So we're not really losing anything. So I did my neutral grip pull-ups in between the sets of benching. Now, some people will complain and they'll say, oh, look at your range of motion. I've demonstrated for you guys repeatedly in the past, proven beyond a reasonable doubt that this is my range of motion. And there's not much else I can do about it. For those who don't remember when I did a dead hang with over 100 pounds in plates and jumped up and held for just 20 seconds and dropped down and just held it. Okay, I am not strong enough to hold that sort of weight with my elbows locked. I'm not. I think we all agree I'm not that strong. My full body weight plus, over 100 pounds of plates. Yeah, I don't think so. So if that doesn't prove it, then nothing else will. All right. So afterwards, we did incline benching, 45-degree incline with a close grip, pausing on every rep. And I did a superset with the seal rows. Now, of course, I took the seal rows to 10s also, just like I did the incline bench with 10s also. Why? These are accessories. Now, some people would say that incline is an assistance movement, and arguably it is. But we've already done a heavy assistance by doing, paused close grip. Okay, that is our main one. We really only need one major assistance. Everything else is just to hypertrophy everything, right? Everything else is for hypertrophy. Just like tomorrow, I'm probably going to do deficit deadlifts on deadlift day for the assistance. And I'll probably do, sets of 3 to 5, just like I did today. So everything else is hypertrophy. So we're adding in a 45-degree incline in, not 30 I'd been doing a little while ago, making sure we really hammer the upper chest, hammer the front delts, okay? And by keeping it closed grip, it will have better carryover to my closed grip bench. Similar muscles worked in that case, maybe a little more tricep, arguably. So again, building up all that support musculature. Of course, since we did pull-ups by doing rows, we've done both a vertical and a horizontal pull. This will cover pretty much all of the middle and upper back. Because of 6 total sets, done twice a week, I think we're good. Keeping in mind, we also deadlift. So this gives me 6 total sets of presses, 6 total sets of pulls after a max. This is actually enough to see good growth on. Like, I could stop here. I could stop with these 12 work sets. I could definitely stop there. And I'd probably get bigger and stronger. But let's keep in mind, what is it we're doing here also. Since I've been getting leaner, I'm working a little more on building up my whole upper body and the muscles that people care about. I do want to show people that even guys like me can look better if you just get big enough, strong enough, lean enough, and then do a little work in the right places. Even guys like me who are not genetically gifted for having a nice physique. I'm a strong guy, got a nice thick frame. I gain muscle, fat, strength pretty easily, above average. Not the best in the world, but above average. I don't have that look, but I do want to demonstrate for guys out there who don't genetically have that aesthetic look. I think it's possible for us to do better while focusing on strength. So I'm going to do a little more of that. Plus, it's just good for my marketing. Good for my marketing in general. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. So having a little more arm, a little more delt wouldn't hurt there. Plus, let's come over to the other point. What do we know about benching? These muscles still all contribute to the bench. Biceps, side delts, right? That stuff will all contribute. Triceps we know do. They're the primary mover, and I'm close gripping. So we need the tricep work no matter what. So this really isn't optional. The other stuff, we could question how much it'll add to the bench. I think it will add a little. Building up your delts, because we got a lot of front delt with the incline already, but side delts, a little bicep. That can all help stabilize and move your bench a little bit better. So I went with, I've been doing hammer curls. Last time I went back over to these dumbbell curls, which I'd been doing for a few weeks. I like these, and I feel like I don't need as much of the radial brachialis work and stuff, because I'm doing 2 different types of pulls with either a hammer grip or a pronated grip. So, I might as well do a little bit of actual bicep work there. And not to say that hammer curls aren't good. They are. I like them, and I think they work bicep. But I thought I would make it easier for me to superset the laterals, because I use way more weight on the hammer curls. And since I wanted to throw in a little bit of light laterals, just for a little pump in my delts, it felt like the better option today. Again, purely because I wanted to do it all as a superset, save time. So if I want to do hammer curls and do the laterals, I'll need to, of course, do them afterwards with a lighter dumbbell, because I can't move the same weight. And for people who ask, why do I only go so high on the laterals? It's not so that I can use more weight, because I'm using a pretty light weight and just doing pump work, doing them pretty strict. It's because it's really all we need for the side delt. If we're trying to work the side delt and we go really higher than that, the side delt is actually not really doing the work. So I'm not overly worried about it, because again, it's just a little finisher to make sure my side delt gets worked. Of course, it works all 3 heads of the delt, works the traps. Okay, so it's all being worked. But just trying to minimize fatigue and just get a good pump in those areas, because at the end of the day, that's what's always worked. It's what's always worked for getting guys big and strong. Do your heavy work and to do your pump work. And this pump work took maybe 10 minutes. All right, so I did all that serious work, did the heavy, training max, did, 12 sets of pushing and pulling, total, 6 of each. All right, that was the main workout. This little bit of pump work at the end with these smaller movements, and I needed to do the tricep work anyways, it didn't add time. So if you think maybe 3 minutes between each set of these, right, I filled that time doing the other 2 movements between my sets of tricep extensions. So again, all this stuff at the end, 9 sets done in less than 10 minutes, just finished off at the end. It's a very, very efficient way to do stuff like this if you want to. All right, but yeah, so 3 sets of 12 on each of these and a superset, and I called it a day. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.